When people are shopping for a new vehicle in North America, I don't think Mitsubishi comes across most people's minds. Compared to when I was growing up, I mean, there's no all-wheel drive turbo Eclipses, there's no convertibles, there's no 3000 GTs, there's no Evos, right? So all the fun has been taken out of Mitsubishi. With the Mirages leaving us this year, the Outlander Sport surprisingly is still around, has not been updated in a long time. The Eclipse Cross it's blasphemy still to this day, as we wish we had the fun coupe back. The only vehicle I find myself recommending from Mitsubishi is the Outlander, especially the plug-in hybrid if you can get a good deal on one. Now they're updating the Outlander plug-in hybrid for 2025, and it'll get more range, maybe 45, 50 miles of range, something like that. It has 300 horsepower now, the Outlander plug-in hybrid with the refresh. So it's coming, and it's going to be better, but it's not enough to save Mitsubishi. They can't just be a one-car brand. They effectively are a one-car brand right now. What do we have to look forward to? Well, thankfully, Mitsubishi has a lot to look forward to. They're bringing more models to the United States, from the new Delica and to the new Pajero / Montero. Both in theory, well, 100% the Delica is coming back, but I don't know if there's any official documents from Mitsubishi themselves talking about the return of the Montero, which is, guys, it's a LandCruiser fighter. It's a Nissan Patrol fighter. This thing's legendary, but it was discontinued back in like, what, 06 or something? Today, we're going to go into these articles from Best Car from Japan and get us excited for Mitsubishi once again, because no, I don't think we'll ever see fun sports cars from the brand again. If we can get some really, really competitive minivans, you guys know I love minivans, as well as some off-roading or just large scale SUVs back in the lineup, the brand is going to be resurrected like that, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get over to the English translations. If you guys are excited for Mitsubishi to have a pulse, smash a like button. And if you're not excited, at least smash the like button for Mitsubishi's once greatness in the 90s, all right, with all their fun sports cars. And then they nearly went bankrupt for lots of different reasons, lots of cost-cutting measures, and having unsafe cars and whatnot. But anyways, let's focus on the new Delica, and then we'll get into the new Pajero right here / Montero. This should be coming in the second half of the 2020s. This portion of Best Car is saying, hey, these cars are coming in 2026 or later. All right. I would like to say this is the earliest that we would be getting the D6 is 2027, but I could be wrong. When I was at Japan Mobility Show last year, this concept, the DX concept, blew me away. A lot of people, there's a big cult following around Delicas in the United States to import those old Delicas. You can lift them. They're body on frame, so you can lift them. Some of them are diesel. Like, you can make an amazing camper van. Some people live in their Delicas. The Delica D5 will be celebrating its 10th anniversary this year in 2025. Now, they're saying it's going to use the Outlander plug-in hybrid CMF CD platform. The Delica D6 will use a stretched version of this. It's no longer body and frame, it's unibody at this point. The first portion here is just talking about the design, but let's get into the powertrain. The power unit is the first electric unit in the series. Okay, there's never been a hybridized Delica until the D6 comes out, or even electric Delica, right? So it will use the same plug-in hybrid system that the Outlander plug-in hybrid uses. So we have a displacement of 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, the same as Outlander, but it will be a newly developed engine for the next generation. So translation's a bit tricky here. So it's the same engine. They're not going to redesign the engine, but maybe they're saying it's a new powertrain for the next generation. My guess would be, well, we're kind of in the next iteration of this plug-in hybrid on the Outlander for 2026 model year. So the drive system is 4-wheel drive only. Delica needs to have 4-wheel drive. They talk about Mitsubishi Super All-Wheel Drive Control, which controls all 4 wheels, and it has evolved through optimization of the control software, allowing safe and secure driving on both on and off-road, making it one of a kind in the minivan in the world. I would agree. It's going to have the best all-wheel drive system of any minivan. Toyota has all-wheel drive in the United States. You also have the Pacifica that has all-wheel drive, mechanical all-wheel drive. This is going to be better than both of them by a mile. The recent rise in material costs and the shift to PHEVs could cause the price to rise significantly. As a solution, a cheaper grade equipped with a 2.2-liter inline-4 diesel, again, that would not come to America, unfortunately, a diesel turbo, even though people would lose their minds for it. At least I would be excited for it. Anyways, that may be introduced. So think about around 300 horsepower. You're going to have around 45 miles of electric range. That is exciting in a minivan, because I've been asking for a plug-in hybrid minivan that's not. The Pacifica was not impressed with that plug-in hybrid minivan. Mitsubishi, I really like their plug-in hybrid system on their Outlander. I haven't tested the newest iteration of it. Here's the thing. The problem with the Outlander is a 3-row is this really small 3-row. And Delica would solve that issue for me. Sliding doors, better for the family, and yeah, it would be awesome. But you know what else is awesome? The Pajero. The Pajero, in theory, coming in 2026 / Montero. This looks like a Tahoe sort of vehicle as well. I mentioned the other, like the Patrol from Nissan / Armada. Okay, they're saying Mitsubishi's enjoying sales of mini vehicles like mini trucks as well as the Triton. Get the Triton, but we know Mitsubishi's actually working on a truck in Mexico with Nissan. How big the truck is it a commercial truck? Is it, a retail truck? We don't really know. All right. Is it going to replace the Titan for Nissan? Not to be confused with the Triton here. It's really hard to say, but it's possible they could build the Montero down in Mexico. All right, this will be body on frame, unlike the Delica. But one model that is being called a long cherished wish within the company is the Pajero Montero, and I think it was even called the Shogun in certain markets, whose revival is eagerly anticipated. Even though it has been some time since it was discontinued, it remains an iconic model that is synonymous with Mitsubishi. The symbol will be revived in 2026. Let me just check the Japanese translation to make sure the number here is 20. Yeah, you can see 2026 model year there, or 26 calendar year. So let's get back to the English. According to the latest information currently available to our Scoop team, the model will be based on the Triton, of course, body on frame, with a robust ladder frame structure by using the ladder frame of the Triton, which is highly regarded for its durability. Now, we don't get the Triton here because of the chicken tax. It'd be too expensive for them to import it, and they would also have to make sure it passes safety and emissions regulations in the United States. So it's just too costly. That's also why we don't see stuff like the Hilux from Toyota or Mazda's BT50. I could keep going, right? Oh, thanks. Thanks, Reggie. I love you, Daddy. Happy birthday. Oh, bye, Reggie. Thank you. I'm so loved. Happy birthday to me. Oh, let me squeeze you.
Evie,
should I open it?
Yeah, Evie shaped out the card. I don't know.
All right. Best dad ever. Ooh. Who's upside down?
Like I just did like bears upside down. Like down to make those things that make the bears. Like you're setting up for your party.
I love it. Oh, I love you here, there, everywhere. Thank you. And you're the best dad ever. Aw. You're so sweet. Thanks, Reg. So many hearts, so pretty. So lucky. I love you, girl.
I'll leave it here.
Oh, thank you. Yep. It'll keep me company. All right. Maybe also for my birthday, I can wish for the Delica and the Montero to come back as soon as possible. Let's make that happen, Mitsubishi. All right. Well, they mentioned a couple different powertrains. They mentioned the 2.4 liter diesel. We're not going to get that in America. What could we see? It's hard. It's kind of hard to say because the plug-in hybrid from the Outlander, as they mention here, could go in here, but it doesn't. They would have to rework everything. This is a body-on-frame vehicle, so the engine orientation is completely different. It's longitudinal instead of horizontal. It's horizontal in the Outlander, and it probably will be in the Delica. So the engine has to be longitudinal, a traditional rear-wheel drive / 4x4 here. Therefore, the Triton's turbo diesel will work just fine, but outside of that, I mean, maybe they could borrow Nissan's New twin turbo V6. That seems to be too powerful. And then, I don't know, maybe overkill. I don't think this will be quite as big. This is based off the Triton. It won't be quite as big as the Armada / Patrol. For example, they're saying the length is 5,100 millimeters. And if you look at the Nissan Armada, that is 5,324 millimeters. So this is not as long of a vehicle. Let me look at LandCruiser 2025 length in millimeters. Yeah, so it'll be about the size of the LandCruiser J250. They mentioned center differential lock. That's a given. I wouldn't be surprised if you have an additional rear locker or something like that, like we see in the J250, for example. Oh, okay. What this can use from the Outlander plug-in hybrids, I keep reading this, is that it can use the same battery pack. So we could get similar, maybe a little bit less. It's more sturdy of a vehicle, so you'll have a little bit less electric range compared to the Outlander plug-in hybrid, but more likely be mechanical all-wheel drive. Yeah, it's not going to be as efficient. They could also use the 2.4 liter naturally aspirated engine, but with the engine longitudinally mounted, they would have to come out with a very powerful electric motor to go between the engine and the transmission. And this has 6-speed automatic transmission. So they could do a 6-speed auto here, but they would need a big old electric motor. So this thing could drive on pure electric. I mean, Porsche does it. BMW has big plug-in hybrids with traditional transmissions and rear-wheel drive layouts. This is a bit of a mystery to me, the Pajero. The Delica's cut and paste. It's a minivan version of the Outlander and a more usable package for families, for sure, with really good off-roading prowess. No, it's not body on frame like the old Delicas, but you know, it's going to be fantastic regardless. We need more minivan competition. This thing, a bit of a mystery, because I just don't know if Mitsubishi has larger engines for the North American market. They used to have V6s, but that's all gone now. The biggest engine we see in a Mitsubishi here in North America is a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. I mean, maybe they could take that engine and turbo it, so you have something like 270 horsepower. That'd be bare minimum for a vehicle of this size. You could plug in hybrid, and then we have a lot of power, a lot of torque, and that's not really an issue anymore. But like hybrid efficiency as well is going to be quite questionable. I don't know if it'll come to the United States market. If it does not come to the United States market, the Pajero, it's a huge failure, because body-on-frame vehicles print money here in North America. They had success with large SUVs in the past. I would love to see competition for the LandCruiser. It would be potentially a better powertrain. I'm not a big fan of the 2.4 turbo hybrid in that LandCruiser that we have in the USA. It's just not. It's not. It seems like it's underbaked. It's not refined enough. And before I shut this down, I just want to recap last year. Mitsubishi had a 5-year business plan. So this was in May 16th, 24. And there will be battery electrics. There's going to be more plug-in hybrid models and hybrid models. We don't have any hybrid models. So we're going to have just more variety. Now, you're also going to have one completely new or completely refreshed vehicle. Fiscal year or 2026, that would be ending in 2026. So fiscal year, that should be after March 31st, 2025. So we could see the refreshed Outlander, for example, starting that off, being the completely refreshed vehicle. So especially the plug-in hybrid that I mentioned. So that's probably number one. That'd be my guess. But you're going to get either that, a refresh vehicle, or a new one every single year after that until fiscal year 2030, which would be ending March 31st, 2030. All right. New vehicles to be introduced across more segments. Delica is one of them. Dealer count is going to be rising, and technology and innovation will be the hallmark of their sales, marketing, and customer satisfaction process. There will be 2 all-new vehicles to debut into segments in which the company currently does not compete. All right. We know the Delica is one of them, and let's hope the Pajero is another one of them. The lineup from Mitsubishi will be about double from today's vehicles. Well, it's not hard to double since there are hardly any. But let's talk about this image that they shared back then. And I don't know if I really broke this down for you guys. Delica's here in the middle. Delica's coming out. We're getting a Mitsubishi plug-in hybrid minivan, and I cannot wait. I guess let's just start here. This is probably the refreshed Outlander. Actually, both of these are. So one's the refreshed Outlander and probably Outlander plug-in hybrid. It's kind of hard to tell. I think they're the same. I think these are the exact same vehicle, though. Exact same vehicle. One's plug-in hybrid, and one's non-plug-in hybrid. You see one has roof rails, but anyways, Delica in the middle. What else? Well, let's span to the far left. This could be, guys. Let's compare it to this thing. It's pretty boxy looking, but this, it's hard to tell. But this could be the new Pajero. All right, with kind of a light bar in the front. New Pajero. Let's try to get our hopes up for it. This reminds me of like a Nissan design. So this could be a Mitsubishi's version of the new Leaf. That's my guess there. We'll see what happens with it, but that's what I'm guessing. That's Mitsubishi getting Nissan's Leaf. So there's that fully battery electric that they're talking about. The XFC concept. Ooh, or this one. It's hard to tell. Now, this looks like the biggest vehicle on this list. So this could be the LandCruiser Montero. But as we zoom into these guys, these are a little bit harder for me to figure out. And maybe this means it's coming in this order as well. I know I'm all over the place, but Outlander's first. Then we're getting the new Delica. And then, all right, let's get into these two because I keep beating around the bush. I have no idea what this thing is. I would like to believe that one of these is what used to be called the XFC concept. It's called the X-Force. I had to go to the Vietnamese site to find the X-Force here. So could this model be the X-Force? It kind of has the same daytime running lights. So I think that's a possibility. Now, the X-Force was debuted as a battery electric. The back end doesn't seem to be quite right. This seems to be boxier, but it could just be, the angle that we're looking at here. And this angle here looks to be a little off as well. Here's a better representation if we compare this yellow model. I mean, the daytime running lights are awfully similar. So it could be that, or if we go to we're at the Thailand page now. We don't get the Xpander MPV hybrid. That'd be kind of cool. But there's the Pajero Sport. The Pajero Sport's kind of like a 4Runner. Are any of these models 4Runner E? Are any of these models 4Runner E? Well, this for sure. But this might be the full-size Pajero / Montero. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, is it possible that this over here could be the Montero and this be the Montero Sport or Pajero Sport? It's possible. And this could be the XFC concept, or what did we call it? It's called the X-Force again. So maybe this is the X-Force. Let me know if you guys can help decipher this. I think it's obvious that these two are the Outlanders, obviously the Delica, Mitsubishi's Leaf, one of the Montero, and then these two are a little bit questionable. So maybe X-Force here and then maybe Montero Sport. It's hard to say. But there we go. Getting you guys amped up. So let's finish this out. And I think there's a North American dealer meeting happening for Mitsubishi where we should get some more information trickling down. So stay tuned for more Mitsubishi updates. Stay tuned for more Japanese car updates. Tomorrow I leave to drive the new 4Runner finally, the 6th generation 4Runner. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm excited to share it with you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.